Oh no! My light broke. You don't have to say anything. I already know my light is broken. Yeah, so weird. It was working 5 minutes ago. And then it's off. So apologize for the bad light. Anyways, my name is Wayne McDonald. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you. Thank you very much for being a client. Maybe that's better. Thank you very much for being a client. We appreciate you. We want you to succeed. That's why I'm here. I'm charged with the duties of helping you find success through technical analysis, fundamental analysis, addressing trader psychology issues, all that kind of stuff, and essentially be available to answer your questions. So let's work together, help you to succeed. And then when you find success, please open up a live account at TradersWay.com, because they are contributing to your success today. They're investing into your future up front now. And all they're asking for is your loyalty and respect, and maybe, hey, how about a demo account, huh? Start the relationship today. So, what are we going to do? Well, it's Friday, so we'll set up our trades. After this webinar, I will meet with the swing trading group, and we will set up swing trades. Then next week we got the Fed meeting, and that means once the Fed meeting is done, we are officially in summer. So at the end of the week, I will be going to summer school. I don't know if this is better or not. It's pretty dark with the shadow. So let's just go through it, huh? You don't have to say. All right, so let's start where we left off. We started on a high time frame, worked our way down to a smaller time frame, and then yet another smaller time frame. And I think we got down to like a 15-minute chart, maybe even a 5-minute chart. But, oh my God. Oh no, that's not it. So we had a plan that looked like this. We had this drop, but before we got to the drop, we analyzed this on 2 or 3 different time frames, and that this area here was resistance. This would be a place that you would look for a dramatic drop. Maybe not necessarily bears selling, but certainly bulls taking profit. But when we did this plan, we had already seen this significant drop. So I used a Fibonacci study, and we then analyzed it using the Fib study and said, this is the most ideal sell zone. If you're a bear already looking to sell, this would be sort of an engulfing, bearish engulfing candle. This would be the retracement. And then we had it lined up for a plan A. Man, I keep clicking that. There we go. We had this lined up for a plan A. And the fallback one, less ideal, is plan B. Right? Based on a double top. Well, we got a spike in here, so the plan B actually worked out, but plan A also worked out. Any thoughts? Again, we started on a high time frame, and then dropped to a lower, then dropped to a lower, then dropped to a lower, set up a trade plan. And yeah, well, there you go. That's how you do it. I want to make sure that the new folks here understand that all these chart templates, all these profiles, each one have multiple charts in them, and each chart has one of multiple templates. The templates, the charts, the profiles, the indicators, everything that you see here is available for you, free download in the description below. So make sure you do that. Okay. So I want to get off exotics. That's not the point for today. That's just where we left off. Okay. Start with euro dollar. Again, we had up here, we wrote this during, maybe even before, I think before non-farm payrolls, I had written counter trend. Huh? You guys remember that? That was 1 week ago. We're already going into the hot tub time machine, right? So we wrote that here. That if it went up, this line in the sand, let's change this to black now. You know, I have a line in the sand now. So let's do this. We said that line in the sand could potentially set up a counter trend. It's neat, right? So the news came out, okay, and it popped up. Then when we got there, it was still during non-farm payrolls. I said if you wanted to buy it, the safe place would let it drop to this roll reversal. This being the roll reversal. And then you can trade it. Okay. Now, of course, a bull is going to want it to go way up there, but we don't know that. Oh, weird. That's interesting. When it clicks off screen, it creates a new arrow. I'm not letting go. Interesting. And of course, bears are looking for the double top for the drop to create the counter trend, right? Down, 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 down. Notice the lower low. Up, up. Roll reversal back into the moving average. Down, 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 down. Up, up. Down, 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 down. So on and so forth. Okay. To look at this on a smaller time frame, drop into a 15-minute chart. And remember, you're looking for the same stuff on a 15-minute chart, right? So this is the double top. Okay. Down, 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 up, up, roll reversal, sell. Right? Down, 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 up, right? Sell. Down, 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 down. Again, roll reversal, up, sell. Down, 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 down. So mark this. Somewhere around here in the future, you'll probably sell. Okay? Price action. So you might look at this and say, all I need to do is this price action, and then I'll be successful, and then I'll drive a yellow Lamborghini, and chicks will finally dig me. But that's not the money being made. The money being made, or how to make the money, was to understand all of this way back in here. Okay? And that you should, if you were waiting for a double top as a bear, you knew the importance of this, and you were there in ambush waiting to trade your unfair advantage. And then you get the price action. Okay? Down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up. Okay? Andrew, that was the very first thing I covered today, wasn't it? Sorry, can't go back. You'll have to watch the recording. I thought that was the very first thing I covered today. You know, 9 minutes and 55 seconds ago. Well, Oscar, I have serious doubts that that's going to happen anymore. Erdogan has removed Turkey from the global economy. Okay. So Turkey is kind of like Iran or something, just totally out there. Iran, Turkey, Cuba, Venezuela. I mean, it's really unfortunate because Turkey was on its way to potentially enter the EU, but that was under a completely different administration. So, like the way that investors look at Turkey, they're like, okay, the Turkish economy sucks. And it's way, way over leveraged and drowning in debt. Okay, that's one thing, but that's been like that for a long time. But now, working with Erdogan, the world is like, dude, we can't work with this guy. So the people just walk away. And it's really unfortunate. There should be a government, and I don't follow Turkish politics at all, so you have to apologize for my gross simplification of everything. But I wish the government was working on creating an export economy for Turkey. That's right, and therefore Turkey would then attract foreign currency. And right now, Turkey doesn't have any foreign currency because it doesn't export anything, and yet it borrows foreign currency. So now all its debt is in foreign currency, which is, a horrible. I think a Nobel Prize winner, I can't remember his name now, but he described this as a vicious cycle. So now Turkey has to flood the market with Turkish lira to pay off foreign debt, which lowers the value of the Turkish lira, which means the next time a debt payment is due, they have to flood the market with even more Turkish lira to pay off their debt, which weakens the lira, which means they have to flood the market with even more Turkish lira, which weakens it even further. And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I'm sorry, Oscar. I'm a big fan of Turkey. I have a lot of Turkish friends. I'd love to visit Turkey. Um, so I'm cheering for Turkey, but that's sort of where we are now. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go around the world. So that euro dollar, right? We also prefaced this last Friday with if the euro dollar works its way down in a counter trend, USD Swiss franc will work its way up in a counter trend. Well, it's not the news I'd like to deliver, Oscar. Right? It's not like I'm a Turkish hater. I actually have this dream. I want to float around Istanbul on a boat, just like someone maybe 3,000 years ago would have been doing it, just floating there and drinking some nice wine and maybe chewing on some barbecued sardines and and olives and just right. I mean, I'd love to visit Istanbul. And then another one would be floating around again on a boat. There's some beautiful coastline on Turkey I'd love to visit. And of course, I've always heard the best Roman ruins are in Turkey. And then I would like to visit. I have a great uncle somewhere, great uncle that died in in Turkey in World War One. So got to go visit that. So yeah, I love me in Turkey. So I hate saying bad things, but I'm just reporting the news. Anyways, here's what we're talking about. The opposite but equal to euro dollar is this one. So I said, watch them both. One of them's going to be the leader. Check this out, though. This predicts that, so I wonder if we'll get there. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, 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 buy, buy. So this should continue going even into next week. That would be the theory, anyways. This is a dollar move. That's why. Okay, Sam. And also, I guess some people are missing this. Well, no, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that. I don't need to make it more complicated. Someone asked about gold. Okay, good. Okay. So let's mark it up. Okay. So how do you trade that? Okay. Do you guys remember the swing trade on this? Oops. Delete, close. You guys remember the swing trade? We had talked about this little confluence here. So I don't know if you've forgotten the trade plan. The opposite trade plan for a bear is sell here. Oops, let's do it in blue. Is to sell here. And what they were hoping for is a move like this. Okay, well, that didn't work out, but you wouldn't have lost money. Yeah, Peter. So you know pivot points, it seems, but you don't know how to trade them, which is okay, because all you have to do is open up your wallet, and then information gets inserted into your brain. I think pivot points are one of the most important things you need to know, and need to know it very well, because they're a leading indicator, right? They tell me the future. We're supposed to be up here, but we knew that way here, and we knew that here, and all that kind of stuff. Visit fxbootcamp.com, and I would say take all the courses, but there's one that's specifically on pivot points or focuses almost exclusively on pivot point trading is swing trading. This is really good for people that day trade. This is very good for people that can't sit in front of their charts all day, so they can do daily swings, weekly swings, and monthly swings, right? So this takes, I would say, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a week, 10 minutes a month. Okay, and they're going to be primarily based on pivot points and price action. Okay, both being leading indicators. And what do I mean by a leading indicator? So like in price action, like we were showing you earlier, I said down, 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 up, up, and then there's a roll reversal area. So, okay, so that means you sell somewhere near that. So when you get a down, 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 and we're at a lower low, I'm already doing this, knowing that I'm going to sell that in the future. And then when it makes a new lower low, we're automatically doing this. Okay. And then the pivots tell me, hey, look, we're at a double bottom. You should get up, take profit, walk away. So the combination of these two things is ridiculously powerful. Sickening ridiculous. Yeah, but bear in mind, Jorge, that I wrote that book 12 years ago and it was published 11 years ago. You can take it there; everything is still valid in there, but if I were me, I would take the video courses. Okay. Tuan says, why is the yen so strong? Well, first of all, it's supposed to be. And then second of all, it's risk off. So let's actually move there now. Sure, Jorge. Okay. So I think I described June. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, by the way, because this is not a given. But I think I described June at some point, and I was very clear. I don't know why. I have nothing to back it up. But the way I think of June is a big high and then a return into consolidation. Is that how I described it, or did I describe it a little bit differently? An upward move, then consolidation, and then we hit the Fed meeting in summer. There might be a little volatility after the Fed meeting, but basically a few days later, this just is going to be the giant sucking sound of summer. Does that seem right? Is that a fair description? I didn't see it as down and then up in consolidation. Yeah, Glenn says 2 weeks up and then down, right? Oscar says, yes, I was there. Yeah, and and what I'm talking about though is like 15 years of trading. That's what's in my mind. I don't know if it's actually true, and I was very clear with that too. I don't know if it's actually true, but it's what I think about in my planning process for June. And so a lot of these yen pairs, I love yen pairs, by the way, right? So we spent a lot of time on this previous trend, down, 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 up, up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, right? Down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 and then all of a sudden, based on time and price, this is this is potential for a buy. Not any lower, not any higher. That's the exact price, the only price I'm interested in. More importantly, this is where you shouldn't just buy it, because that would be foolish. I was clear about that. But that we should have more detailed trade plans and smaller time frames and do things like look for reversal patterns, right? So here's the roll reversal where you normally would sell, like we did here, 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 and here. This is the roll reversal area. So going into that, right, we could assume a higher high, higher low, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this particular weekly trade plan also, and let's do this in funky yellow because I'm running out of colors. The weekly trade plan that particular week was this move, right? So it happened to be a monthly buy and a weekly buy, and this is, right, the higher high, higher low, 1, 2, 3 into the new trend. Also, we knew that the challenge for bears was likely to be here on a monthly basis. Okay, and here on a weekly basis, and on the weekly basis, you see that's exactly where we opened the week. I call this an Arctic turtle, where you just kind of stretch your neck out to hit the higher time frame and then back down. Okay, now typically a bull would want this up, down, and you have to break this price. Okay, you have to break this price. So once this price holds, we know there are sellers in the market. But this is actually what I described a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Like literally in January, we would have talked about an upward move on any of the yen pairs, not euro, just any of the yen pairs, and then drop back into the range for consolidation. Is there anyone here that can confirm that we've had similar situations months ago, many months ago? Or maybe we had this conversation 2 years ago, but this is something that is in your mind. Upward move, back into the range, consolidation. Can anybody confirm that? Or is this brand new information that you've never heard before, and I'm just filling in gaps to look impressive or something? Yeah, Joel says last year, right? Chuck's he's listening behind. Okay, I think you can skip forward. So my point is, it's kind of looking like it's happening, but there's no voodoo magic. It's understandable. So if I were me, I would take notes and I'd write that kind of stuff down. Okay. So as we approach now the Fed meeting, depending on what the Fed says, because I don't think they're going to do anything, we'll probably get like a move like this, like this, like this, like this over the course of 2 weeks, and then it'll just be a really tight range. And you'll start to see inside weeks and inside months as far as pivot points are confirmed. So going into July, I would start looking at monthly R1 and monthly S1 as the top and bottom for the entire month. You see what I mean? Like you start changing your expectations. That's the important part, that you're anticipating. Okay. So I would say, someone asked, why is the yen so strong? I would say that anyone that wanted to get short got short at the exact price. So for example, this is the exact price you're supposed to get short. This is the exact price you're supposed to get long. So people that needed to get long before the summer got long. People that needed to get short before the summer got short. And that's all it is. And this is something I keep trying to get across. The market does what the market wants to do. It's not a video game. It's not magic. It's not manipulation. There are traders, institutional traders with large sums of money, and they plan things out weeks in advance, not minutes in advance. And they're saying, oh, well, summer's coming up. Well, great. We need to get short on the yens. What price should we get short? Well, let's do it there. And they had a plan and they executed it, and that's done. Or the other way, they're like, you know what? We need to get long on these yens going into summer. Great. So they carried out and executed, right, a trade plan. And amateurs are going candle by candle trying to figure out what's going on. And when they find inconsistent results, they blame it on manipulation. But I don't think there's much, right? This is very textbook stuff. In fact, yes, it is in the book that I wrote 12 years ago, right? So it's not, you don't have to be a rocket surgeon to figure this stuff out, but you do need to do the work and plan ahead, right? I'd rather you be a hardworking ditch digger than some esoteric, overeducated person that just won't follow through. Forex is about hard work. The secret to Forex is hard work, not brain power. It's not like, oh, I want to be a Forex trader, but I'm not smart enough. Big brains are not required, really. Mediocre brains are going to be required. But what you need to do is be tough and strong and disciplined, right? You always show up on work to work on time, and when you work, you do an amazing job. Like a market maker, yeah. Yeah, all of that, just erase all of that from your brain, Jorge, right? You need to be hardcore disciplined, always doing the work, always doing a great job over and over. Every trade needs to be a great trade that's well planned and perfectly executed. You need to be an artisan. Now, I was in Cambridge for graduation recently, and they were putting up a building across the street from the hotel. And that particular day, they were putting up the facades. So they already had like all the I-beams installed and stuff. And they had these like good American union workers out there, right? With the hard hats and stuff and yelling in their hardcore old school Boston accents and stuff, American flags on the hard hats. And they're putting up these facades with cranes and stuff. And these guys were amazing. They were not PhD Harvard people. These were blue collar crane operators and construction workers. But they did an amazing job. And these guys look like military almost, like they would always show up on time. They'd always get the job done, and it got done right. And they would take pride in doing it right and never bitching and complaining about the process, right? And then I'm watching, and this is an absolute true story. There's a guy, he has his dump truck. And he's waiting his turn, but it's clearly going to be a half an hour before they load him. So he puts the bed up, and he cleans out the bed, and then he takes out towels and stuff, and he's hand wiping his entire rig down, cleaning all the chrome and cleaning the doors. This dump truck was an older dump truck. It looked brand new. He was polishing the dump truck while he waited. That's the kind of person that would be successful in Forex. To do an amazing job because you take pride in what you do. That's what you need to be a success in Forex. So if you come from a land down under, if you come from not the best neighborhood and you don't have the best education and nobody knows your daddy, maybe not even you, and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? You can do Forex, but you just better be hardcore about it and take pride in what you do. If you have an ounce of mediocrity, you will fail. This is a sport of kings. So if you're not bringing a hardcore discipline, if you're not bringing a high-end education, and if you're not bringing good money because your daddy's rich, like if you're not bringing all those other things, then all you have is your tenacity and your work ethic. So if that's all you got, it's enough. And then, of course, time. You need time. Okay? If you're not bringing those other things to the table, then at least bring the work ethic. And what I mean by work ethic is like I say, day after day. If you've decided to be a bull, buy down here, and then once it's up here, move your stop. If you decide you want to be a bear, sell here. Now that it's down here, move your stop. If you did just one of these, you're a successful trader, and you will be successful. You might not make money this month, but over the course of weeks and months and years, you'll get enough of them right, not because you were smarter or something, because you did what you were supposed to do, when you were supposed to do it, and then the market decides who the kings are and who the street sweepers are. And if you're doing something else, it ain't going to work. You're chasing a dream. Fool's gold, or at worst, a pipe dream. You need to think like an institutional trader. Okay? Not a street corner thug. That's all it is. But you'd be surprised. Everyone says they got it, and then if we take a look, many people don't. They don't do the hard work. All right. I wanted to show CAD first. The CAD is the outlier here. You see how the CAD has got the up, 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 and then we're up here. We're still on the central. Let's take a look at Kiwi. I got to change this one. Look at this, up to the central, down. So CAD is still at the central. This is down. Okay? Take a look at pound. Never even made it to the central. And then euro, as you know, back up and through. So CAD is the strongest. Euro is the second strongest. And pound and Kiwi are about the same. Isn't that amazing? It's called relative strength. What if we now throw in, let's change one to an Aussie. Instead of Kiwi, let's look at Aussie. Okay, even weaker. Aussie is the weakest. Today's the last day for the swing trading group, Jorge. I'll restart it in middle of August. Okay, isn't that interesting? So now what? Now you should look at USD yen. And that's why I have this as a plus minus type thing. I guess I don't do it on this one. But let's take a look. Which one is stronger? Let's do a 4 hour. Which one is stronger, US dollar or Japanese yen? Japanese yen. So the first one you should probably sell, right? Aussie yen and all that kind of stuff. And then when you move on, maybe there's another currency. So yen is strong. How about USD versus Swiss franc? Let's take a look at that. Which one is stronger on the 4 hour? Well, it has been Swiss franc. Down, 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 up, up, roll reversal, sell. Down, 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 up, up, roll reversal, sell. Down, 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 roll reversal. Somewhere in here probably is sell. So we know, or we believe, Swiss franc is about to get strong. So we want to do something like Aussie Swiss franc, odd Swiss, for example. So let's take a look at that. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Let's just open up a new chart. Oh, you know what? I probably have it under Swissy scan. Euro, pound, USD, Aussie, Swissy, perfect. Okay. Look at that. That could have been your baby. Okay. Notice the lower low. What's the first thing you do after a lower low? Okay. Roll reversal. Up, up, down, 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 lower low, roll reversal. Up, up, right? Lower low, roll reversal. So this consolidation is not perfect. It's tradable. Okay. Eventually you get a new breakout, roll reversal. New lower low, right? So you're looking for that. Notice that the trade for the week on this was the sell zone right here. Did you know that? So on Sunday at 5 p.m., if you were a swing trader, 5 p.m. ET. I don't know where you live in the world, but at 5 p.m. Sunday at ET, Eastern Time, if you're a swing trader, you would have said to yourself, I'm bearish here. And then the market actually opened, and you find price right here. That's called a trade plan. You know what your target was? Here, You said, I'm going to sell here Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and my target is down here. 3 points, nothing but net. Boom! Does that take brains? Does this take PhD level gray matter? No. Do you need to get your butt out of bed and be there or leave the barbecue? Sorry, guys, I got to go. And they're like, oh, man, don't leave. We're just having fun. No, sorry, I got to go. Asia's going to open soon. I got to trade. Look at this. Here's the week before. There's the sell zone. Here's the target. New sell zone, new target. So the thing is, do you have enough discipline to be here Sunday morning at 5 p.m.? See how easy this is? We don't know if it's going to work, but I know how easy my trade plan is. If I'm there, boom. If I'm trading this, that's what I'm doing. And it's that straightforward and that simple, but most people don't have the discipline. It's too hard to be there and carry out the trade plan. Because I know the trade plan is not that complicated. So like I said, most people don't have the discipline. They can't do it. They're like, oh my God, Sunday 5 p.m.? I want to be rich, but like that's way too much work. Right? Or you don't know how to trade yet, and I can fix that. But you need to ask yourself now, what if I teach you that and you still don't do it? What do we do next? What are we going to do if you do have a crystal ball that does tell you the future and you still don't trade it? By the way, cheers. Okay. Yeah, Simon, well, that's another way of moving your stop, right? So like Simon says, let's say you trade here. Where do you put your stop? Here. Then it makes new lower low, right? Keep your stop above there. New lower low, right? Keep your stop above here. New lower low, keep your stop above here, right? No lower low, no lower low. New lower low, keep your stop above here. New lower low, keep your stop above here. If this makes a new lower low, keep your stop above there. Wow. I really upset Peter DeVry. Wow. Oh, no. I think he's talking to himself. Okay, that's fine. I'll post it. For some reason, a lot of you guys are getting blocked today by YouTube. All right, so anyway, so did you see what I did? I want to make sure you're following. I looked at multiple currencies, drilling down and isolating strong versus weak, and then pairing up based on that information, a new pair based on strong versus weak, and then we start setting up things like swing trading and price action based on having picked the right pair to be trading. Do you see how we did that? I went through like 5 different pairs. Oh, look at this. What does that mean? Therefore, let's look at this other thing. What does that mean? Let's look at the third thing. What does that mean? Okay, we got the right pair now, so let's use our technical analysis. All right, there's this trade and that 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 trade. Done. But you should be able to do this on demand at will, at least daily. But if you're a scalper, you got to do that almost hourly. Okay? But I know you're smart enough. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think I'm that smart. I now have a Harvard degree, and I'm about to get my second one. Great. But I did that in my 40s, right? I'll probably still be at university when I'm 50. So it's just, I put in the time. I created an opportunity, I put in the time. But what I do is based on hard work. I learned Forex, and I learned very slowly. I read very slowly. It took me years and years and years to get to a skill level that you probably got to in your first 6 months. But then again, I had to self-teach myself. So was I brilliant? Absolutely not. But I did put in a ridiculous, sickening work ethic. We were talking about this with the other day. Even when I was in college, I slept every other day for 4 hours because other than that, I was working. Well, so what was I doing when I was 20? Negotiating with Fortune 500 senior executives and managing an organization of thousands of people. Well, that's pretty good for 20, but not because I was born with something. No, I had a vision and I had a dream, and I threw in a ridiculous, sickening work ethic behind it, and somehow I got farther than really I should have been. I'm always over my head. But the success isn't some innate born gift that, like, something that you couldn't have. You're like, wow, he's a genius. If I was a genius, I'd be successful too. No. That's not the story. Or, oh, he was born rich. You know, his mommy and daddy were driving around BMWs in the 1970s, and he had an unfair start. That's why he went to Harvard. No, actually, no. I didn't grow up with my father, and when I was a kid, I didn't even have running water in my kitchen. That's a true story. One of my jobs, when my mom was going to do dishes after dinner, I'd go to the bathroom with a bucket with some soap in it, collect hot water, go back to the kitchen, and pour it in. So some of you guys might come from roots like that, and some of you guys would probably find that hard to believe. So did I come from a rich, successful family? No. Was I born a genius? No. So you probably have more than I had when I started. So I hope you kick my butt at Forex. I think you probably can. That's the whole point. But the work ethic is, I think, the big differentiation. Okay? And here's the best thing. These big institutional investors, many of them are from rich families. They do have all this education. But, ivory tower education, they don't know what the value of a dollar really means. And I think if you bring in street smarts and a ridiculous, sickening work ethic, I think you could beat these institutional investors all day of the week. It's like bringing your street ball to the college boys, right? They play a good technical game, but at the end of the day, they got the footprints of your Nike sneakers on their back, right? Crying foul. So make sure you bring it, okay? Did I re-enter Eurotrade? No. No, I'm waiting on that. I believe the Euro Lira is kicking off the monthly central, so I need new bearish price action. But I'm just going from that. Bob says good work discipline is a must in the Saskatchewan farming industry. If you don't have it, you fail. Yeah, that's it. So one of the things I always think of when people tell me trading Forex is hard, I'm like, it's not hard. You sit in an air-conditioned office in a beautiful leather chair with ergonomic support and all that. You want hard work. Start digging fence posts to put a fence around your farm in Saskatchewan in the middle of the summer. When I was in high school, right before I graduated from high school, so let's say I'm 16. I had a car. So let's say I'm 16. I had a job, and this is pretty interesting. I was a cement caster. I made one of my specialties was life-size cement deer, amongst other things. So I would start my day, I'd get to work, and it was dusty out on a farm, and they had a work area. And I would start by mixing cement by hand, putting in the sand, putting in gravel, putting in the mix, getting the mixture going, adding the water. Then when that was done, I'd take all the molds apart, and I'd have to clean the molds and then put used motor oil all over the inside of the molds, because then we were going to put the molds back together and fill them with concrete. But a lot of these were very big, like I said, life-size deer. So they needed rebar. So I would spend, probably an hour and a half a day cutting rebar by hand with a hacksaw. Wah, wah, wah. It's hot, it's dusty, and they're playing country music. I always thought myself as a city boy, so I've never been a huge country music fan, except for a few. But just the country music. And I remember cutting rebar. I'd cut and cut and cut until the blade would break. Then I would change the blade. I'd change the blade about 5 times a day and cut, 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 cut. And I said to myself, I got to get the hell out of here. I swear to you, this is what I'm thinking. I have to get out of here. I cannot live like this. I don't belong here. Right? 3 years later, I'm on Wall Street on a board of directors with George Soros running a corporation of 3,000 people. Boom! All from hard work and taking advantage of opportunity. So you have this opportunity in front of you. I hope you take advantage of it. I hope you just slaughter that. Or go back to cutting rebar. But make sure if you go back to cutting rebar, you forget about all this opportunity you threw away, because I don't think you'll be able to live with yourself. So just be happy cutting rebar, listening to country music, enjoy the nice sun, enjoy your tan. But I'm willing to fight for it. And all it takes is hard work. That's the easiest thing ever. Hard work's easy. I think we covered almost everything that needs to be covered. I guess we can go back and do some WTI. Let's do the energy complex. Abel says the work ethic is a lesson by itself. I really think so. I really think so. But you don't know until you don't know, right? You don't know until you know, or but anyways. Brent. Okay, you ready for this? This is a sell zone, this is the target. This is a sell zone, this is the target. This is a sell zone, this is the target. That's it. That's how you swing trade. Which reminds me, in 1 hour swing trading group, we're meeting for our last session to set up trades for all of next week, and maybe even just to wrap up sort of the month of June. So make sure if you're in my swing trading group, we're meeting in 1 hour. Okay, so that's Brent. Let's take a look at WTI. Okay, let's take a look. This is a sell zone, this is the target, this is a sell zone, this is the target, this is a sell zone, and the target's down here. Okay, so if you know you're a bear, it's going to be a little bit easier, but look at these things like the swing is working, but not the price action, right? So scalping your way down, unless you're on a very small time frame, isn't even really giving you an opportunity. It's all the swing. So let's look at it on a smaller time frame and back up. I suppose. So here's like a London Open. Down, 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 up, up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 up. But the way I teach it in the book and the way I used to trade it was little bit less than price action. It was down, fib, right? Down. And very often, the way I describe it is it's coming back to the 21, right? That's how I describe it. So I don't describe it as price action per se, but they're sort of one and the same. You're either using, fib, 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 or you're just trading it back into the moving average. Whatever, one and the same. I can't this week, CV, unfortunately. I can get you the number, though. I think we're probably going to miss it here, but let's try it. I can get you the number, but I have to go, like, now. Well, let's see if I can get this.
Minutes above there on our May U.S. retail sales data expected 0.6%, month-on-month. Ex-autos expected 0.4%. Ex-autos and gas expected 0.4%. Also expected 0.4% for May.
This is TradeTheNews.com, by the way. Thanks, guys, for subscribing. And would you do me a favor? Give me the thumbs up before I shut down here. Just the little thumbs up. And if you're watching a recording of this, please leave a comment, even if it's just hello or thanks. But I really do appreciate the comments, and it's important for YouTube. So if you watched a few minutes or even the full hour of this webinar, please just leave a comment.
Sales 0.5% is 1/10 lower than expected. Ex-autos is 0.5% is 1/10 higher than expected. Ex-autos and gas is 0.5%, also 1/10 higher than expected. Control group is 1/10 higher than expected at 0.5% as well. Back months revised higher on the retail sales data.
Slightly from $1 post data. Euro 112.50 was just tested.
So here it is. If you want it, I'll post it for you. You should read these things, by the way. I'd venture to guess some of you have never actually read it. All you do... No, you have to, free parking, you have to, if you're watching the recording, you can't leave a comment while the thing's going on. But I venture to guess that you guys have probably traded retail sales for years, but have never actually read the report. You need to start reading the reports. At the very least, when you become a professional trader and you're trading other people's money, at least you can drop little seeds, little gems. And you can say, well, I was reading the retail sales report for May, and one of the things I thought was very interesting was the blah, 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 blah. And the fact that you're doing the hard work most people don't do. And they'll say, you read the report? And you're like, yeah, I just don't trust the talking heads on TV or the newspapers. There's too much at stake. So I like to review the data myself. Okay? You're worth investing into. If you can, just little seeds like that. You do the work that no one else is willing to do, you're worth the investment.
Dollar mildly firmer here following the retail sales figures. 112.50, the euro down about 26 pips. Interest rates have ticked up a little bit as well, particularly at the short end of the curve. The 2-10-year spread dropping back below 25 basis points with the 10-year up about 2-year up about 4 basis points from where we were earlier this morning.
See you later, guys.
Slightly better than expected.